Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you another Monster Legends Monster Week advice thing. I don't know what to call it. I have no idea what to call this. Just like I guess what should you get for Monster Week? We'll do that. We'll do that. That sounded pretty weird. I mean, like that intro was pretty weird, but we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it and stuff like that. Anyway, we're back with this stuff now. We're gonna continue off where we left off last time. We're on Thunder Monsters. We have an hour and 31 minutes. Hopefully we can get all this done in time. We still have to do, thunder, water, dark, magic, light, and metal. So I think like each one is three sections and stuff like that. I don't know, three. Yeah. The next one will be three. The last one will be three stuff too. But yeah, you get my point. So we're gonna be talking about lightning, water, and dark monsters for this video. So if you're not interested in any of those, in all honesty, if you're not interested in any of those conversation, like if you're not interested in this part of the series of the three-part series, go ahead to skip to the last one if you wanted. If you wanted just to know a specific like monster from a specific category, totally don't go there. Totally go there now. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna be talking about thunder, water, and dark monsters. Uh, so to start off, Tempest. I really like this. In all honesty, I I really love Tempest. Is great. Tempest is really awesome. Due to the fact he can go either way. He can go either or. He can go as a damage dealer, or he can, in all honesty, he can go for a deny build. Now, what most people do, they either do full deny. They usually do either full deny or they put a strength rune on it, and that's totally fine. That's kind of the build I have at the moment. Like, I put a strength rune on it at 2 speeds. That's totally fine. You can totally do that. That's kind of how people build Dr. Victor too. You'll see that on Dr. Victor builds too, and that's totally fine because they can do damage too. They have the power to do so, and I do believe it runs really great. Uh, Sometimes this thing can counter Voltic, not all the time. I say that because there's a chance you'll miss the stun, but if you land the stun, you're pretty solid. Because then you can just finish it up with the daze move the next turn. Usually, if you're this is if you're like the Denier and stuff like that. Usually, and you haven't like killed Voltic yet. This may be the case. Don't quote me on it. It may be the case. He has the potential to take care of it. Voltic, he doesn't like have absolute potential or absolute control over it. But yeah, Mercurius. Okay, Mercurius. This is the fair Voltic. This is the Voltic that isn't bullshit. This isn't like 4 turn like everybody like the infinite turn volt. This isn't no. This guy plays out a lot differently and stuff like that. This guy only has 2 extra turn moves. They're pretty decent ones at that, and they do only thunder damage. That's another thing too. They don't do special damage, but that doesn't really matter. In all perfect honesty, that doesn't matter all that much. So if you want, let's say if you wanted to burst down, let's say you can actually use this guy to burst down Voltic, because what you can actually do is you can use both extra turn moves on Voltic, so that's a significant amount of damage enough, and then you can wrap it up with the Velocity Strike. You can totally do that. That's totally how that works. I've done that before. So you can use this guy to get rid of Voltic if Voltic bothers you a lot. If he has some pretty decent strength runes, you can get rid of Voltic. I have done this before. I really have only like level 3 strength runes, and I can take care. You can take care of Voltic with that combo. If you add in like the deny damage too, or like probably not even the deny damage, you can probably finish it up without doing the deny damage. But yeah, this guy is really great. He's also really great in the fact he's immune to stun, so he's pretty much immune to most common thunder deny. I mean, like thunder deniers, like Tempest and Nexor. There's really not a thunder monster that freezes yet. The only exception is like RFL. RFL can deny him with the troll move, but that's just about it. This guy has a really nice trait too. This guy has a really great trait. He's actually the fastest lightning monster. He's not a lightning thunder monster. I'm sorry. He's the fastest thunder monster. One of the fastest monsters in the entire game, actually. Running at 3,600 something speed at level 100. This guy is very scarily fast. He's got an AoE blind too, so that also helps him. He's got an AoE blind, which is also really great. Let's see here. Thunder Hair. Just kind of mentioning it just because, it's a legendary monster, stuff like that. Thunder Hair isn't all that great. He runs on 50% chance, but if his single target moves, I suppose it goes pretty great because it burns and poisons at the same time. So if you could possibly land really heavy stats effects, but it's a 50% chance. You might just land one, you might not land both. and stuff like that. He is pretty old. I think he is one of the weaker thunder monsters in the game, or just like in general, just one of the weaker monsters in the game in terms of legendary status. He's one of the weaker ones. Not too great, and not really worth his price at all. He's not really worth the price he's at. He's just he's not all that great. Uh, but you could always make a monster great if you give it enough runes. I will say that if you take the time to actually put love into something, you can make it great. Siamo. Siamo is like isn't all perfect honestly, but a lot of people compare him to a weaker RFL and stuff like that. He's not even that. Because what he does, I think he actually does doesn't I think he does a double damage buff. I think he's a buffer. It's not too much of it now. He's more so a buffer. And his ultimate is like reboot and stuff like that, or like, oh no, it's glitched. I think that all it was glitched or something like that. He's got a really nice AoE like ultimate and stuff like that. He is old. He suffers from being old and stuff like that. He suffers from being old. Like other thunder monsters have better base stats than him. But if you take you take the time to patch him again, if you take the time to patch him, stuff like that, he runs all right. He runs the idea of a he does run in the idea of a buffer and stuff like that. Uh, Hyperion. I'll mention Hyperion real quick. Hyperion is needed to make Workahulk. You need a Pandolph, and honestly, a Pandolph is not hard to get at all in the slightest. Just bring like a magic, like Genie and the grass comment, and I'm pretty sure you'll get Pandolph in just a few rotations. Pandolph is so easy to get. But yeah, you can do Hyperion and Pandolph to get Workahulk. So it's an exclusive legendary. It's not the best legendary in the game, but you can breed it. It's breedable. And it does like if you just like if you're able to like game, if you're able to get a bunch of them, it does like a lot. Or at least like it starts doing more. It does more damage. I mean, like it benefits. Obviously, any monster benefits from being ranked up. Workahulk is no exception. He works really well when he's ranked up, but that's only at his max rank, I suppose. Volray. Volray is actually a really, I did say in the video and stuff like that, I'd say I would mention like epics too and stuff like that. You don't have to buy them, but you should pick them up at some point in time. This is actually below. You could. This would be like, it's like I think like with most epic monsters, like 125 or something like that, right? So this is like it's kind of below the price for like what it normally is. I think that's it. I think that anyway. But yeah, this is a very decent epic that you should probably pick up at some point. He's kind of like he's kind of like he's kind of like Voltic, but he only has like one it's just like one spammable extra turn move that you can spam it and stuff like. So he basically can move forever if you wanted to, if you have high enough stamina runes and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a pretty decent water monster, water epic lender. I recommend it. You don't have to get it, but I'm just saying it's a really nice epic. Exoskill. Okay, so Exoskill, a lot of people say Exoskill is like unnecessary because Voltic exists and stuff like that. But this guy does very good AoE damage. He's one of the top AoE damage dealers in the entire game. With a 55, I think it was like a 55 damage thunder AoE. I think that was the case, or yeah, that is totally. I think that was totally the case. But he does a lot of. The main idea is he does a shit ton of AoE damage. the amount of AoE damage he does is nothing to spit at. I think it's like I think it was either 50 or 55 damage AoE, and then like either 40 or 35 damage AoE. The damage he does is nothing to spit at. In terms of just AoE damage, it does so much. Voltic. Voltic is the play the box monster. I can give him other names. But let's just say play the box character because literally straight up, you can easily win. And like this guy is like. This guy breaks the rules of the game pretty much. Like there's a move set where you can literally just do all extra turn moves, and like it's AI idiot proof. This guy is an AI idiot proof monster. Whatever move it does, it's never a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. It's always gonna get an extra turn in the end of the day. It's not fun to deal with this thing in all perfect honesty. This thing destroys teams. This thing destroys people that don't know what it is. Like the very first time you fight this thing, if you haven't looked it up on Wiki, this thing will ruin your day. You'll probably be like, What? This is fair? This is fair? What why didn't I get to go? Why did he get to move multiple times? The reason why he went multiple times is he's got a four move set that allows him to move as much as he wants. So as long as he has stamina, this is the only, and realistically speaking, uh this is the only monster you will ever see stamina runes on, and and in all sense, people won't complain at all if they say, "Oh, why'd you put a stamina rune on that thing? This doesn't make any sense. Stamina runes are worthless." If you put stamina runes on Voltic, people won't say a single thing. People will understand because it moves forever. This thing does have high stamina costs. It does, but when you put like really high end stamina runes, that cost is more than not relevant. It's more than not relevant, especially if you just use the ones that don't cost too much. It doesn't cost too much stamina to begin with. Just yeah, yeah, it's disgusting. This is actually Voltic is considered to be the best Thunder Legend in the game. So if you really just want the best Thunder Legend in the game, I mean that this guy literally that's like this guy breaks the rules of the game. This guy is one of the top tier monsters in the game because he breaks the rules of the game. What do I mean by breaking the rules of the game? I'm saying he gets way more turns than any monster should. I mean, it's the system of the game. Like there's the turn order. He's just completely takes the turn order. He just pauses the turn order, and he just gets a bunch of turns in. Well, it says one turn on his board, but in reality, he gets like 6 or 7 turns. In reality, he's gonna get a lot of time to do his stuff. I will say he's not unbeatable though. There's a lot of things that can beat him, mainly stamina leak. This is probably one of the most monsters that suffer the most from stamina leak, or just being stamina drained in general. If you can drain this guy's stamina before he moves, or during the time he is moving, he's in a lot. Like the player that's using Voltic is in a lot of trouble because they gotta refill that. Like his damage output is greatly hindered after using all of his moves, all of his stamina that first turn is greatly hindered because he has to either take the time to refill or somebody has to refill it for him. But if somebody refills it for him, if he gets full up again, you're done. The game's over at that point. It's either like he's gonna use up all of his stamina and stuff like that, and it's gonna go to like your stamina refiller. He's gonna refill all that stamina. Oh my god, I can go on about it, but basically, yeah, you can pretty much make it where it just always plays out in your face. It's stupid. It's stupid broken. This is a really strong monster. It's my least favorite monster in the entire game, but aside from my personal feelings about it, this is a really good thunder monster, and you should probably pick up on it. Uh, at some point, if you don't really care all that much about it. I mean, if you don't care about it being broken and stuff like that. This guy is great for securing 3 coins just because he can move forever. Uh, ROFL. This is a really cool monster in the fact that he has like a single. It's pretty much like it's kind of like a mega stun. It's kind of like a mega stun, but another turn in. It's either wasn't it like either. I think it's probably actually I think it's just a mega stun. I think you can move on that third turn. I can't remember or not. But basically you're denied that first turn, like that first initial turn. They can't take any damage, but it's like on the second turn they can, stuff like that. But basically you're shutting someone down for a few turns. This guy is really fun to use. He's got a lot of neat tricks. He's got like an AoE that gives 2 negative effects. He's got an AoE burning. He just has a lot of neat stuff. This is actually a really funny monster. And stuff like that. Vanus. Vanus is on sale with Griffin. Yeah. Obviously, that's kind of weird to me. But yeah, I'm just saying this. Yeah, they're next to each other. They're bird brothers. So Vanus is all right. Not the most broken thunder monster in the game. I'm surprised Victor isn't on here. I'm surprised I didn't see Victor during this time. But anyway, Vanus isn't too broken. A lot of people think he's just utter crap. I mean, just in terms of like moves and just like in terms of moves and like the stats and stuff like. I guess it's not in terms of moves, but just in terms of base stats. The base stats aren't too pretty on it. It's not bad though. I will say it's not bad. I would recommend either like a full damage set or like a 2 damage and a life and stuff like that. And all perfect honesty, that's the build I'd have you run. You can run a speed rune on it. You can do whatever you floats your boat, but that's kind of the that was the kind of 2 rune paths I'd pick on it. But anyway, this is one of the very few monsters that does an AoE slow. He has a special damaging slow. That's really cool. He's got a stun. He's actually, in all honesty, he's a good monster. He's just, again, he's not broken. But you can use him. I will say this guy is, if you were thinking about getting him, he's all right. He's all right. He's an all right monster. He can do a lot of stuff for you. He's all right. Uh, Griffin. Griffin is a really strong. I highly okay. In all perfect honesty, he's one of my least. If you ever been on my channel for a long time, he is one of my least favorite ones, and I mean, it's one of the top three. I mean, like the top three anyway. Uh, just by personal experience, I'm not saying this monster is bad. Just by personal experience, dealing with this thing in particular was a nightmare for me. Just like growing in my Monster Legends career. Just because it ate the thing I had. It just ate Lord Mammoth all the time. It was horrifying. Poor Lord Mammoth. Poor Lord Mammoth having to deal with this guy every single fight. But uh but yeah, this guy is actually a really great monster. I have this monster and he does a lot of damage. He is a really nice monster and I think you should invest in this monster just because he is a really high end. He's a really quality damage dealer. At the end of the day, he does a lot of single target damage. He's just a really great monster all around. He's got a single target stun. He has an AoE blind if you're into just kind of keeping your common and stuff alive and stuff like that. Very good defensive. You can build him defensively and stuff like that. Uh, Not like in terms of rune set, but in terms of like kit. You can do an AoE blind if you wanted. If you wanted to miss out on that 45 damage AoE, you can totally swap that out for utility. That's totally fine. The main reason you use this monster though is because of his single target damage. His single target damage is special based, and he has a 70 damage move. That's the most important thing you should know with Griffin. So it's a good buy. I will say that it's a good buy. He does a lot of damage. And stuff like that. But as of course, with all the common, like with every single Thunder monster, despite like some of these Thunder monsters having really clutch things, everybody will say there's no point in using this monster. Just use Voltic, and that's the it's just, oh my God, it's that conversation every single time. It's every single conversation on the wiki. Why use any Thunder monster other than Voltic, the guy that can break the game? A lot of Thunder monsters don't get any credit, like because they can't do like the game breaking thing that Voltic does. Everybody is just it's disheartening and all that jazz. It's just disheartening and stuff like that. And there are monsters that actually counter Voltic nowadays. There are Thunder monsters that actually counter this thing nowadays. Like with Monster Device. Monster Device counters Voltic so hard. But oh man, the counter with Monster Device versus Voltic is so strong. If you get if he hits him with the 75 stamina, like he's done. He's done. The damage is like his damage is gone at that point. I mean, like because Voltic's damage is damage in time because he's getting a whole bunch of turns, and if he doesn't get all of his turn in, he loses significant damage. He will lose so much damage if he gets stamina drained or like stamina linked. He is not having a good day. Set Voltics do not have a good day when they're either A, dealing with things that are actually building tanky, or like B, you're stamina linked or you're stamina drained at the moment. He's not happy in either of those times. That's the only times he is not happy, is when he's either stamina linked or like he's fighting a tanky team. The Voltic does not like fighting tanks. He does not. Especially if that tank can still move. Especially if that tank can still move and kill, like actually hurt him, because I think he only runs on like 25 or 24k health probably. But yeah. You should, in all perfect honesty, you should branch out in Thunder monsters. In all perfect honesty, you should branch out. It's all right it's all right to use Voltic and stuff, but just branch out. Don't just think of that. Oh, I'm only ever going to use Voltic because that's the only one worth using. Totally branch out. Like there's a lot of good Thunder monsters. You shouldn't just, despite a single character being really broke, like in some video, despite a character being like really broken or something like that, it doesn't mean you should just disregard everything else. You should really plan on using other stuff than just a single monster, despite it being all that great. You should really branch out. You just do, like, different monsters work well in different situations. You should branch out and see the best, that's the best comps and stuff like that. Works well with this and stuff like that. Uh, yeah. Oh, another thing that counters Voltic is a really high ranked Uria, high ranked general Uria. In fact, just in general, like if you like a really well built Uria, just like really decently built Uria could probably counter Voltic because Thunder typing and he's already naturally tanky to begin with. So if you do treat him with really nice life runes, like a life rune, yeah, he's gonna be able to sustain that. He's gonna be able to sustain that and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, that's it for Thunder monsters. So do branch out. Do use a variety of Thunder monsters. I mean, like use different Thunder monsters. Like try out Tempest, try out Mercurius, um, try out Griffin, try out Vanu. Just try out different things. You should totally do that. All right, so we're on to water monsters. This is probably a really interesting topic. This is an interesting one. I will say my suggestions vary depending on where you're at in the game at this moment. But yeah, I already talked about Mudflow in the previous video. I didn't think I'd talk about Dawn Turtle. Dawn Turtle's alright. He's a nice buffer. He's there to buff. That's about it though. He's there to buff and stamina leak. That's about it. I mean, like he's stamina drain and stuff like that. Aiden's really nice in Fire Water Wars. I say this because he makes everything resistant to fire water attacks. So you can see the greatness in that there, especially in the fact he can ignore fire damage. That's huge. That's really huge because the fire monster is usually the attacker, and usually like the fire monsters just use like fire. Like sometimes they just use the fire move first. But they use their fire AoE first. So that's very good defensive It's a very good defensive monster. Uh, all right, so we're on the legendaries and stuff like that, all the way, going from right to down. So Blob. Blob is the fastest water monster. I think he still is the fastest water monster in the entire game. Stuff like that. He is a really strong water monster too. You can build him either damage and denier, and people will still respect your choice of whatever you do at the end. He actually counters Thetes, I will say that. If you're just beginning and you're having troubles with these, this guy's a good idea to pick up on because he is faster than Thetes for one thing, and he can actually do the AoE stamina drain that's 50%. Thetes can't do her stamina drain unless she's at pretty much full stamina. Pretty much, at least I think it's like 127 stamina or 120 stamina that she needs to use that move. So if you can stamina drain her just straight up right away, you're okay. You're in a pretty good spot. I learned that a few wars back when Ozzy told me, one of my subscribers and stuff like that told me about the fact that DDs couldn't use her AoE stamina drain if she didn't have pretty much full stamina, and I found that really interesting. So this monster in particular I will say like Blob is a beginner friendly monster. Just keep in mind, just don't have him take too much damage. He only runs on 23k hit points. He's not the tankiest monster. He's really offensively great, but he's not the tankiest monster. You do need to take care with this monster, stuff like that. Do protect Blob with your comps. Frostbite. I will say this is a late game monster. You don't pick him up early game, pick him up late game, because he doesn't run on the fastest speed as all the other water monsters. In all perfect honesty, I would say pick him up mid to late game. Don't pick him up early game. He's not going to do you any good early game. He runs he initially runs a lot better late game mid to the late game than he does early game, because he doesn't have the fastest space speed than most of the popular water deniers in the game. He's faster than Thetes. I will say this thing also counters Thetes. This thing in fact, Frostbite in general is one of the best in terms of movesets. He's one of the best water monsters in the entire game, or he's the best denier. In all honesty, he's the best water denier in the entire game. Just by moveset alone, just by the moveset. Base stats not too much. There are other water monsters that surpass his base stats, but you get my point. This guy does have really strong deny. This guy's just all around deny. In fact, it is a better, like pretty much people say it's a better Thetes. In all honesty, in terms of moveset, it is a better Thetes. It's a dangerous Thetes. That's what it is. Just pick it up. I would say pick him up mid to late game because early game is not going to do you all that great. Just because you're not putting the best runes on him. He does excel. He'll excel a lot better for you if you put better speed runes on it. But like usually level 5 runes are alright. Level 5 speed runes are alright. But obviously if you can put better ones on him, it's the better the better ones the better. So this guy in all around, he is pretty great. He can be frozen. That's kind of just my main concern for just beginner players, is he can be frozen. So if you're not running the faster a water monster, you can be denied and stuff like that. I say pick him up mid to late game. That's my honest advice on that. Pick him up mid to late game. H2O Delirious. He runs on the same speed as Frostbite. uh, in all perfect honesty, he runs on the same speed as Frostbite, and there's a lot of neat things about H2O Delirious. It's not too he's not too unique in terms of what he does, but it's pretty awesome. He's pretty awesome. He's got like a 50% stamina leak, and he's got a stun that run on a both run on a single turn cooldown. He also has like a he has a stamina. Oh yeah, I mean, no, not 50% stamina leak, but 50% stamina drain, and he also has a stamina leak move. If you are interested, you can put that. You can put all three of those like single target moves and the AOE freeze move, and stuff like that. This guy doesn't really do any damage. He's more so there for the deny. In all perfect honesty, this guy is really great. In all honesty, H2O Delirious is really great if he's ahead of the other water monster, and that other water monster isn't like immune to freeze or something like that, or like you can like. In all perfect honesty, this is how he plays out. If you get this guy like really high, like really ranked up and stuff like that. This guy, like the higher the rank this guy is, the better he'll run for you. You know that is kind of one of those monsters, or like in terms of like the what he has to deal with. I mean, like if he's higher ranked up, he runs a lot better. He can deny the enemy water monster. It kind of plays. It kind of depends on how you play out with your runes too. I will say that depends on how you play out with your runes on the other monster. So you're gonna like kind of have to like figure out what the best combination is with that current situation you're dealing with. But yeah, H2O Delirious runs again. He runs on the same speed. He has the same concept, AOE freeze, and then all that jazz. He has an AOE daze. I like the AOE daze personally. I like the AOE daze and stuff like that. But yeah, all around this guy has really decent deny moves. I will say he has one of the best ults in the game. He does have one of the best ults in the fact that he can freeze and stun enemies. So if a monster is immune to freeze, they'll stun them. If they're immune to stun, they'll freeze them. He's had a lot of nice things, but he falls behind from a few monsters. I will say he falls behind a few monsters. That's about it. I will say the more you treat this guy with love, the more he'll treat you with love. I will say that, and stuff like that. He doesn't run on like really crummy speed. He runs on alright speed. I'm just saying like if you treat him better, you'll be able to deal with the stuff that outrank him, like Kalik. Kalik's a huge problem with H2O Delirious. I think Cavenfish was too. I think Cavenfish was a problem, or just like any pretty much this technically, and all just speaking, any water monster that's faster than H2O Delirious just shuts them down. You don't want to be shut down because especially if you're using H2O Delirious and stuff like that. He's also not immune to freeze. That's another problem. He's not immune to freeze, so you do not want to be chain denied. You do not want to be chain denied when using H2O Delirious. So you just gotta be cautious of that. If you can be cautious of that, you're all right. And in all honesty, though, too, if you can do if he does like the 50% stamina drain and then the stun, he can follow it up again with the stamina drain, and you have no stamina now. You're in a really bad situation, and then he can stun you again. Keep in mind that as long as he's like because they run on I think they only run on like 28 stamina crack. If he can do that combo on you, like if it's just a single monster left. And stuff like that, you're not in a good position. In all perfect honesty, you are beyond a good position. You've probably lost the game at that point. You probably have, because you're just gonna be, even if though you live through the stun, you don't have any stamina, so you have to take the time to recharge. You can take the time to remove your stamina. You can take the time to recharge. It's just that's kind of how that situation plays out. You can deny, you can stun, you can stamina drain you, and then he can stun you again or something like that, or he can freeze you. He can freeze you or something like that. It just kind of plays out. It kind of bounce off of his combo and stuff like that. This guy does have a combo and stuff like that in terms of like just removing stuff and stuff like that. He's an alright. I will say he's alright. But it's the same ordeal with Frostbite. Pick him up mid to late game. I will say that. Pick him up mid to late game if you wanted to use him. Varna. Okay, so Varna is like he does suffer from being old. He has outdated stats and stuff like that. And back in the day, this thing ran like really great because there wasn't things like Frostbite running around. There wasn't things like Frostbite running around where just stamina drain plus freezing. yeah, that wasn't a thing. He ran really great back in the day, but yeah, nowadays, like with the shit he has to deal with nowadays, not too much, not too much. Uh, People still use this thing to this very day, and that's totally fine. It's all right. It's really cool to have like a monster with a loyal fan base and stuff like that, or at least like a really loyal one. I like the Varuna fan base more than I do with the Voltic fan base and stuff like that. I respect the Varuna fan base way better than the Voltic fan base, stuff like that. This monster isn't bad. In fact, people love this. The people like consider this like just the Mario monster. This is kind of like the just straight up the top Mario monster. It's got great moves. The moves are really great. AoE freeze, AoE stamina leak. Sometimes people put like the AoE remove 20% or 25% stamina. That actually combos really well with the stamina leak. Uh, or like they do the recovery move and then the stun. There's just a lot of ways you can build this guy, and that's really nice. That's really cool. This guy is a really nice monster. Uh, though I will say he is easily outclassed. In all perfect honesty, he is outclassed by pretty much all other deniers in the game. He really is. He really is. With frostbite, just all he has to do is like just stamina drain plus freeze. He's done at that point. Uh, I will say build him. I will say build him mix. I will say that to build him mix. If you do get this guy, build him mix. Don't make him a full-on denier unless you have ranked him up a bit, because he's just gonna get out denied by all the other denier. He's just gonna get out denied by all the other water monsters in his category at level 100. You do need to rank him up to make him not be outmatched. You can be outmatched or just denied quickly, out denied quickly, stuff like that. But yeah, overall, this guy is really decent. I will say this guy's really decent. He's got a really loyal fan base, and he's a really cool monster all around. He's one of the better design monsters in the game. People have used this thing since he came out. I'm pretty sure it was the Pirate Island that this. Oh no! It was the Halloween event. It was the Halloween event this thing came out, and people just love. People, in all honesty, people love this thing. It's just a monster that had like it's old, but everybody still uses it to this very day. It's a lovable monster, and it's a really cool monster too. In all perfect honesty, this guy's all around really great. Lord Mammoth. Okay. Wow, this is a really awkward situation. This is really awkward. These two together, like in the same room and stuff. Oh my god. Oh, they're right next to each other. This is awkward as hell. But anyway, all right. So this is actually okay. The reason why I'm even reacting like this is because there's just a topic for the longest of time. Who was better, Lord Mammoth or Varn? That was an actual topic for the longest of time. I don't know if it's such a widespread topic anymore, but like. Yeah, I mean, like, people would always compare these two monsters, Varna or Lord Mammoth. A lot of people would go Varna just because he's faster, he can stun and stuff like that. But I think just in the just if you literally just put these two alone with the same rune set, just the same build, I think Lord Mammoth wins. In all perfect honesty, I think Lord Mammoth wins. Uh, because Lord Mammoth, he's immune to freeze. There are a few problems with Varna. Like I've said in the past, he's not immune to freeze, and that's critical. That is very critical. Varna is immune to stun, but he's not immune to freeze. Lord Mammoth is, and that's huge. That's really, really, really huge because there's just a lot of water monsters that freeze. For drain freezing and stuff like that. Varna's a great counter to Cavenfish. He can't really be chain denied to Cavenfish because he's immune to stun. But he's countered by mostly everything else that just freezes to begin with. Things like DDs, things like frostbite. But with Lord Mammoth, he is immune to He is immune to the freezing part, so he has the chance to recharge. I think in all honesty, I think Lord Mammoth would do better in a fight with frostbite, or at least he'll stomach more than Varna could in terms of just being outright denied. Because he can't be chain. In all honesty, like the only time frostbite can chain deny him is with the 100% stamina drain moves, but that's about it. If you can survive, in all honesty, if you can survive that, you're pretty solid. With Varna, that's not the case. I mean, you get stamina drained, then you get you get frozen too. Okay, so here's how that plays out. Varna gets stamina, like glacial, like you're gonna get glacial. You're gonna get like 100% stamina. If you're literally the denier, they're gonna deny you, and then you're gonna get frozen. You're gonna get denied of your stamina, and then they're gonna like they're going to do like, the glacial thing. They're going to stamina drain you again. So you're still not moving at this point. And then you're going to get hit by piercing rainfall. You're going to be denied 3 times. You're never going to get the move. In all honesty, that's how that plays out when you're using Varna on a defensive team. In all perfect honesty, if they're using Voltic, that's if they're using Frostbite on you. I mean, if they're using Frostbite on you, that's not a good situation. Lord Mammoth stomachs that better. Lord Mammoth stomachs that way better because he is immune to freeze. He's immune to freeze. So like, as soon as he uses the stamina drain moves, he might not even use the stamina drain moves on Lord Mammoth. He might not do that, but yeah, he can't chain deny Lord Mammoth. That's the thing. He can't chain deny Lord Mammoth, and he can't. And like he's really great. In all honesty, Lord Mammoth is really great with dealing with like just AOE freezers in general. He's really great at that. He can stomach a lot if you build him right. If you do like maybe like the extra guy build, he just runs really great. A lot of people don't like Lord Mammoth too just because he runs on low speed. I will say that's not too much of a problem. I will say that it's not too much of a problem, but that's kind of the main reasons why people don't use Lord Mammoth. In all honesty, Lord Mammoth is really decent because he runs on the gospel power, he runs on the 465 power level, and stuff like that. He runs on that power level. He has really decent life. He has, the speed isn't the most prettiest in the world, but it is patchable. It's fixable. I think it's like I don't remember if it was 3091. I can't remember that, but you have to put a speeder again. You have to put the speeder on it if you want to make sure they don't get more than one turn in, which would probably be the case with most water wars and stuff like that. I have mine with a life rune and 2 strength, and I feel like it'd run better without I feel like it'd run better on an extra build. But basically, if you put like a really decent strength rune on it, and you do put an actual, like if you actually legitimately put a really decent life rune on it, his recovery move will scale a lot better with it. Because one thing that Lord Mammoth excels at is he actually has a 45 damage special AoE, and then he also has a move that gives him 50% more life and a 40% more shield. So this is great. This is a great survivability tool. You have the option to put a spammable freeze move. It's only a 50% 35 damage move, but the main idea is you can freeze and stuff like that. That's a pretty cool thing. That's a pretty cool thing indeed. He obviously has higher end damaging water moves like freeze too, but they're single target based and stuff like that. He can do AoE dazing, which is really heavy too. So it protects. He's genuine all around. He is bulky. He's a bulky and he does respectable damage. He's if you did the extra guy build and stuff like that, he's got sustainability. He just has a lot of Lord Mammoth has a lot of stuff going for him. Varna does have a recovery move, but just keep in mind it's only 30% and he doesn't give him a shield. Lord Mammoth heals and gives a shield and damage boosts. There's a lot of stuff to it and stuff like that. In all perfect honesty, get both of them. Both of them are respectable choices. Just in general, they're really good. It's really weird too because they kind of go in different categories. In all perfect honesty, they're different categories between a denier and an attacker. But people just loved comparing these two. That was just the thing. People loved comparing these two, and that's just the thing. I do side. In all honesty, I side with Lord Mammoth. I do side Lord Mammoth not just because I just like the monster. It shares the first place spot with Osteoclast as my most favorite monster in the entire game. But I'm just thinking in terms of just moveset and what the meta is, what the general meta is. That's just my honest answer. It's just mine. It's totally alright if you don't agree with me. I don't even care too much about this debate anymore and stuff like that, or just like who's better and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just they're both respectable monsters. I think we should just respect them the way they are and stuff like that. We should just both say that they're both great because they are both great at the end of the day. They do a bunch of things that give the water deniers some problems at the end of the day. Sometimes, yeah. So yeah, these are really good. Lord Mammoth is a really good monster. Do pick up on him at some point. He's really nice. He is a really nice water monster. Cavern Fish. Cavern Fish is a really great water denier in all perfect honesty. Freezing, AoE stunning, He's all great all around because he can chain deny and stuff like that. He can freeze and then immediately stun after. I put Cabin Fish Curse isn't the best ability to put on him, but I put it on him. But it's basically another freeze skill, and if you land the freeze, it does run really great on you. I mean, like you have a really good time at that point if you can land the deny like the freeze on the deny again. It's pretty fun when you do land like everything. It is really fun using that move. It's a fun move, but it's not the best move. I think most people will just run border or like anything else. uh, Lead Rain's also a popular move. It actually does more damage than the other AoEs, but it's like the just the chance to like you get that chance to stun. I think they must have fixed that by now with like the resistant to stun. They might have just fixed that. They might have fixed that, but it's there. People love this thing. People love this thing. This is the top tier denier or like one of the better water deniers in the game. Kalik, okay. If there was like one water monster you for sure have to get, it's Kalik. Like just straight up. At some point you don't have to buy her now, but at some point you should pick up on Kalik, because it's like just AoE resistant to all, pretty much AoE resistant to freeze and stun, pretty much the common deny in the entire game. So you're in a pretty good spot if you use Kalik. In fact, this thing completely shuts down Varna. This thing shuts down Varna or just anything that runs on a lower speed than it. It's one of the faster water deniers in the game. It's just one of the faster ones. I mean, it goes beyond their speed point. It is a really good one to pick up on. And all perfect honesty, this is a really great monster. Sifrinus. Sifrinus is a really great water attacker. He does a lot of neat stuff. And sometimes people build him denier, and that's totally fine. Just keep in mind he isn't immune to freeze. He isn't immune to freeze. That's all I just gotta say. He's not immune to freeze. I think he has like. Does he have a tune? I can't remember what this guy has, but I know it's not immune to freeze. I know it's not immune to freeze. I think it was something that's not immune, just something that's not immune to freeze. Atona Carney. Okay, this is actually the like if you actually like that Varna and Lord Mammoth discussion, like who is better, Lord Mammoth and Varna. This is pretty much the guy that wasn't mentioned in the conversation, and he runs kind of better than both. I mean, he does run better than both of them. It's really funny actually when people just like, oh, Varna's better, no, Lord Mammoth better. But this guy was never brought to the table in that discussion. It was really funny. It was really funny. This guy has got AoE stamina drain, AoE stamina lake, single target freeze and stun on a respectable cooldown. He's better than Lord Mammoth because his cooldowns are better, and he's better than not Lord Varna. He's better than Lord Mammoth because his cooldowns are better and stuff like that. They just are. And with Varna, he's immune to freeze. He's immune to freeze. That's the main point of that one. I think the only problem with him is he can't do an AoE freeze or anything like that, but that's fine. He's an attacker. He's not really the denier of the thing. He's totally fine and stuff like that. You should pick up Atona Carney is really nice. You should pick up on him. He's a really nice water attacker. He counters a lot of water deniers. Prisoner. Prisoner sadly doesn't have the best base stats in the game, but he's got a lot of neat stuff. He can do AoE precision, AoE life regen, just all around really neat, but his base stats suffer, and I think he has either immunity to stun or like just some really poor. I think it's energized. I think it's energized. So that kind of helps him because he does do a lot of AoEing. He has a lot of AoEs. I think he also does like an AoE stamina regeneration. I mean like AoE damage. Like his main deal, he does AoE damage while he does an effect too. So he has like I think he has like life regen, stamina regen, precision. I think those are the three things he does. It's a lot of neat stuff. Again, it's a lot of neat stuff. Nidaria. Now, I have this monster. I think this is a fantastic monster. I don't have the best runes on her. This is a really great monster in the fact it has a lot of DOTs. She does have that. She has a lot of DOTs. They're really great and stuff like that. She has an anti-Timeron AoE. It's a 35 damage AoE. That's really nice. That's really cool. You can use it against things that aren't running a water team. Like they're running a Timeron, but they're not running a water monster. She has a spammable freeze move. That's really great. She has a spammable 50% stamina drain. That's really great. This monster all around is really great. It's just not a very popular one. I think it's either by design or just nobody liked the concept. I think that was one of the two things, and yeah. Usually it's just filled by the water. Usually the water denier is the Usually the water monster is usually the denier part of the category, so people usually just don't use any branch out from anything beyond that. I think the rest is just yeah, the rest is just epics and stuff like that. Shoutouts to Nautilus. Nautilus is actually the best epic in the game because he can give himself 3 turns of extra turns. He has a move that gives him like pretty much 4 turns. That's pretty much it. He pretty much gets. It's a monster that gets 4 turns. He's a monster that gets 4 turns. This is a good epic monster in all perfect honesty. Uh, Freeza's alright. He's a magic water denier. He's a pretty good monster. He's pretty good against Timuron. Cthulhu is a classic one. Just like back in the day, just like he's really classy. He's a really classy guy. Colborus is really great because he does. I think he has like an AOE. He doesn't. I know he does. It's not an AOE freeze. It's an AOE stamina leak. Not stamina leak, stamina drain. He has a single target freeze. He's an alright monster. Roracle's pretty great. Oracle has AoE freeze, single target freeze. Pretty good all around. We're on to dark monsters. I already mentioned Tao Tao. I already mentioned Rosha. I already mentioned Firesky, Nagnok. Everyone has an insta kill move, but it takes 4 turns. Just thought I'd mention that. Oh, I misclicked on something. All right, here we go. We're on Thunder. We're on the dark monsters now. All right, Erebus. Erebus is pretty neat. He's got a really high attack power, but he's not the strongest dark monster. He's not the strongest attacker in the game. He just isn't. Not a lot of people don't like him. I think one of the reasons is because people keep building the AoE nightmare on him, and I gotta say that's not a good AoE to put on him. Put the damage reduction one on him. That's a better AoE for him. Don't bother with the nightmare one. Put the damage reduction AoE. It'll run you so much better. It'll just do a better thing. It'll do so much more for you in the end. All around, this guy's an okay damage dealer. He's not the best. Again, he's not the best one. He's an okay damage dealer. He's not the best one. He has like a 60 or 65 damage move. I mean, like he has hard hitting moves. It's just not the best one. Sorry, I was coughing there. Jabaline's really great. She ain't no Krampus, but she's a really fast monster. I think she's faster. I think that was the thing too. I think she might have been faster, if not a little bit slower than Krampus. I think that was the case. Probably slower. I can't imagine her being faster than Krampus. But she is really great. She has spammable moves. Like all of her moves are spammable. She can do like a stun and stamina leak. She can do poison. Bleeding, and then like I think it was like bleeding stamina leak, and then stun poison, was it? I don't really remember too much. But she does a bunch of status effects. I have her. I just can't remember what the combination of status effects. She does those status effects, but it's a combination of stuff. I'm pretty sure it was stun and stamina leak because the stun, stamina leak, and stuff like that. I think it was like bleeding, and then was it nightmares? Oh yeah, I can't remember. I think it was like days or something like that. But yeah, this is a decent dark monster. Phalanx. Phalanx is really great. Really high end single target damage. Can regenerate a lot. I mean, like he regenerates a lot because he has he's got like a life steal and stuff like that. He's got like a 50% life steal and a 100% life steal. Personally, I'd run the 100% life steal, the AoE poison, spammable bleed move, and I forgot what the other one was. I think you could probably just slap another. You could probably slap the other life drain move if you wanted, or like. What's the set? I'm just gonna take the time to look at this real quick because I have them. What's the set I'm running real quick? I gotta figure that out. I have the actual move set I was actually gonna run on them. I have eroding juices, dark alkali. Oh, okay. I put the better. Okay, so I put the better slaughter bites. I did the advanced special move to do more damage to the dark monster. This is the set I'm running. This is just my preference. You don't have to do this, but this is just my preference build. This is just mine. You don't have to follow mine at all. Go to the shop. They have changed. Oh yeah, they changed it now. Now it's just 9 days and stuff like that. So Valak's is really great. Glitch has an advanced possession. So this is actually a really great monster in the game. Very sustaining. Got AoE possession. Well, no, not an AoE possession. He's got an AoE single target. I mean, applies one random negative effect. You can apply like glitch to an enemy, double it's a double damage possession. It's an advanced possession and stuff like that. Really nice monster all around. You should probably get this guy. This guy's really great. You don't have to buy him now. Harushima or Harusa, oh no, Harushima, Harusami. This guy is still bugged at the moment. He still has the base stats. He's on the same boat as Arcade. This monster basically at the moment has the highest base stats of the entire Dark Monster Legends category, one of the highest base stats in the game at this moment, just because it's bugged. He's a really great monster all around. People say he's a better Will Razorface. He does more damage currently. Yeah, that is the case at the moment, just because he does. Yeah, I mean, he still has the base stats. He's basically a better Will Razorface at the moment because he has the better. I mean, like his base stats are still boosted. Plus, he's immune to stun, so that also matters. He's also immune to stun. Razul is now in the shop, and it's funny because Vampira is right next to him. It's pretty much. Here's this really awesome guy next to the nerd, or like the guy that isn't cool. We got the cool kid right here, and we got the not cool kid right here. Vampira, and back in the we'll talk about Vampira first. Vampira was nerfed. Vampira was hit with the nerf hammer really, really hard. Not in terms of stats, but just in move, her AoE just got nerfed to oblivion. It only does 20 damage now. It used to do 90 damage. But I guess they kind of we felt bad for doing this. Let's just give it a 50% stamina drain. That makes it better, right? No, no, and no. You can, she does, alright, single target damage. Do not look for AoE damage with this monster. It's not there for AoE damage, it's for single target damage. She has a lot of neat stats effects, but that's about it. Razul, that's a different story. Razul is a really strong monster. People consider Razul a better Barbatos. I know that could be that's very well the case, and stuff like that. The key with Razul is make sure when you use the triple damage buff, or the thing that it takes 50% of everybody's life, it doesn't kill you in the process. I will say you will pretty much win a game if you do you take everybody's life away, and then you do your own, and then you could just proceed to kill it, the whole enemy team with your your 30 damage AoE, because you're running at triple damage. You have a lot of damage at this point. I think what people usually do, they have a Denier, and then they have the buffer. They usually just put the double damage on Razul, then he does the triple damage thing, and the game's basically done at that point. That's the main concept with this monster is this guy does a lot of damage. He does a lot of damage, but your teammates pay a price for it. I will say that. Make sure when you do the buff and stuff like that, it ends the game at that point. Make sure there's no chances you won't win and stuff like that. It's pretty much it's pretty much a monster. It's like Barbatos. But instead of just him paying the price, everybody's paying the price. Everybody's paying the life toll. I think now with nowadays moves and stuff like that, that's not too much of a problem. Even if something lives at the end, they're pretty much close to dead. So you're pretty alright. In all honesty, this is a really strong monster. It's one of the strongest monsters in the game. So yeah, you probably want to pick up on Razul at some point. He is a very respectable monster. I just kind of wanted to take a shout out to Lost Egos, just because he's a really cool design monster. But he's behind a lot of dark monsters. He just is. Dr. Hazard's pretty cool. Dr. Hazard's pretty great because he's got an AoE poison. He's got two dark damage AoEs that run on 45 damage. This guy's great in AoE damage and stuff like that. And he can make people flammable to dark type moves. You can do that. That is an option. You can build a variety of, it's pretty much build your own super effective monster and stuff like that, because he can ignite people with different kind of weaknesses. He can make people weak to thunder. He can make people weak to water. He can do anything you build him to do. I think what most people do is they build both AoEs, and then they take the stun move and they build whatever like status effects whatever weakness policy they want to put on the enemy. So it could be either weakness to thunder, fire, water, and nature, or they could do the other one. That's not the exact status thing, but you get my point. They choose one of those at that point. Uh, Sir Slumberly, he's a buffer. That's about it though. He's there to give double damage and a small shield. That's about it. Personally, I'd use fire. I would just use fire like fire liquid personally, but he's in that same category as fire liquid. It's low base stats and stuff like that. Personally, I would use fire liquid. I feel like he'd run. I feel like he runs like fire liquid runs better in his like category or his territory than Sir Slumber he does with his. He has a lot of stuff to deal with in his category, like with possessions and whatnot. I don't think I'd talk too much about Lost Ecos. Basically, what Lost Ecos does, he has a spammable single target 75 damage move on fairly low, like no non-existent cooldown since it's a low stamina cost, but that's about it. He's like legendary. He's like the legendary version of Tao Tao. Pretty much think of him like that, except all of his moves are dark moves. He has no special moves. He's just dark moves. Master Skill. Master Skill is a classic monster. Like the daze, blind, and possession. I think that's all in one setting, or I think that was all in one setting. It like blind, dazes, and possesses the target. That's really cool. He's a really cool classic monster. You can apply AoE status effects. He's really annoying at that. I mean, like it's really annoying, but dealing with that guy with like AoE status effects. You can give your allies a single buff too. He has like an AoE single target buff. I mean, not AoE single target buff, but a single buff. So that's really cool. Nocturne's really old, but like he gives possession and stuff like that. Uh, he can possess targets. He can do a bunch of really neat things. I think he has like a nightmare. He has AoE nightmares, like a single target possession. I don't know if he does AoE possession though. That's a good thing. I'm pretty sure I said AoE possession. I don't think he actually has an AoE possession, but he has a lot of neat stuff. I think he has like a stamina leak move. I think that was the thing. He does stamina leak. He does a lot of neat stuff. I don't know if he excels against other things nowadays, but he's a really neat monster. Barbatos. Barbatos is this is a really popular monster. It gives itself double damage, AoE Hellfire. This thing can clear things easy. This guy's really strong in terms of clearing monsters and stuff like that. You may get I'm pretty sure you can run him in basically early game or mid game, or early to mid game. You can run him or like late game too if you wanted. It's just a really good monster all around. Arcanotep is a really great defensive monster. In all perfect honesty, he's a really great extra guy. I treat this guy as an extra guy, not a full-on head-on denier, because his base speed doesn't call for it. This guy all around is really great in terms of just denying everybody in general. He does the blind and daze combo. I think that was his main deal. He did blinding and dazing. Count Vlad. Not all that great of a monster, but he has great single target damage. He's there for the single target damage. I don't think he has like an AoE position or anything like that. He's just there for a like single target damage. Lisha, I think Lisha like more so has better deny presence than Count Vlad, or just like better possession presence. You think Vlad he has really great deny presence, but he doesn't. I think he just has the one possession, and I think he has lifesteal too, and that's about it. Lisha is different. Lisha has AoE possession. She has like one AoE possession, one possession. I think the rest at that point is just other small stuff. I really need Dark Denier, and stuff like that. She might be. I think she's outclassed by Nishan's pet nowadays, but back in the day she was really nice. Keltis. Okay, Keltis was a Christmas monster. He's a Christmas monster. He's right next to Krampus and stuff like that. They're both Christmas monsters. Keltis does a lot of single target damage, but he doesn't have 100% stamina steal. I mean, not stamina steal. I mean life steal. This guy has life steal, but he's not 100% life steal. He runs on 50% life steal. I think that matters nowadays. I think that honestly does, because you only getting half of what you're eating up and stuff like that. It doesn't matter too much if you do like a lot of damage. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you do a lot of damage and stuff like that. But it's not. It doesn't run as good like on like level 5 runes as it would on like level 9 or 10. In terms of scaling with the life steal. All around, this is a heavy hitting monster. Celtis damage is not. It's nothing to spit at. It's the same concept with O Steel class and like Commander Alvid. If this thing moves, it does like respectable damage. If you can keep this thing alive, it will do you respectable damage. Krampus, best dark monster in the game because he does AoE freeze. He's just all around really great. Uh, there's no real reason not to use him. He's got great deny presence. He's got like a single target burn that also gives 2 negative effects and a single target poison that gives 2 negative effects. This guy all around is really great. Ringer is just you use the ringer for one thing alone, and that's with his 70 damage AoE. They never fix that. I doubt they will ever fix that. They'll never fix his 70 damage AoE. And it's just a basic AoE. I mean, like that's his basic move. I think that's what made the ringer, or like that's what makes ringer the ringer is because he has that 70 damage AoE. Everybody loves this guy. In all perfect honesty, people love this thing. If you're thinking about getting this thing, totally get him. He's a really fun monster to use. He's a really fun, in all honesty, he's a really fun monster to use. Will, where's your face? This is one of my favorite dark monsters in the game. He's really great. He has he has a daze and stun combo where if you use the daze first, you will usually use the daze too. By the way, it combos really well if you go with the attacker build. Because it combos well with like the Denier and stuff like that. If the Denier takes the time to like AoE freeze or whatever, AoE possession, whatever you want to do, you can combo that up with his AoE dazing. It's just really nice. It combos really well, and then you can follow that up with the stun. You can totally do that, and then you can follow it up with a lifesteal move. He's got 100% lifesteal. Or you can follow that up with a bleed move. I picked up the spammable bleed move. That's honestly what I run. It runs pretty great. A lot of people just run a full dark damage set. Don't run the full dark damage set. You won't do any damage. Your damage is gone at that point. Or they run like both. They run both lifesteal moves and then the stun and then the non-spammable bleed move. Don't do that. You lose so much damage if you do that. That is not a good idea. You should run the daze. You should totally run the daze on this monster. It's a great form of AoE damage, and it applies a status effect to everybody. Everybody's going to be dazed for that whole game. It's a really great monster all around. Lotan. Lotan's really great if you can rank him up. This is because his base stats are genuinely lower than all the other dark monsters. He's really great in dealing with the things that add status effects like life regen. He will help you out. I will say this guy's a huge help with nowadays meta if you can fix his problems and stuff like that, because he can get rid of like the AoE double damage buffs. He can get rid of AoE life buffs. He can get rid of AoE buffs. The same can be said with Glitch. In fact, you'll probably use Glitch more often than you use Lotan, but this is just one of the monsters that can counter that AoE buffing. He does do that. He can counter AoE buffing, and I feel like that's going to be part of the meta at some point in time, or just is nowadays, because like AoE regen is just so strong. AoE buffs are just so strong nowadays. We never really thought back in the day that AoE buffing was too much of a thing, but it is starting to become a thing now. We're starting to see AoE double damage precision buffs. We're seeing AoE life buffs. I mean, like life regen buffs, AoE shields, just a whole bunch of AoE everything that gives a status effect to everybody. So it's not a bad idea to bring something that makes it so it doesn't take advantage of that. Mommy is a great monster in the fact she does AoE stunning. She has a single target possession. I don't know if she does AoE possession, but she has a single target possession and she has an AoE stun. Beyond that, she has a 65 spammable damage move at like level 1. It's literally like one of her first moves, and that's just the. I will say Mommy is probably the only monster in the entire game that has a really high-end damaging move at level 1. And that's really interesting. You will actually keep that move at level 1 because it's just too high end of a damage move not to use. Fenrir is really great. He's a buffer. He's pretty much like a buffer / debuffer monster. And the fact he does AoE nightmares plus bleeding, or not AoE nightmares bleeding, AoE nightmares plus dazing. Plus he has an AoE bleed move. You know, he's got two really strong AoEs. He's got a triple damage buff. You use this on a monster that's immune to stun, and on its turn it'll kill everything usually because it's got triple damage at this point. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. You can combo triple damage with double damage. So this actually runs. He runs really great with things like Osteoclast. He runs. Honestly, he will run really great with things like Osteoclast. He run around with things like just Varna. Varna. This guy runs great with Varna. He just does because Varna's immune to stun. You can, if you build like a damage build with Varna, you can totally triple damage, and then oh my god, he'll do so much, dude. He'll do so much damage, even though like the base stat on Varna isn't all that great for power. But you get my point. Triple damage is one of the strongest damaging buffs in the entire game. Wow, you will do a serious damage. I think that's about it. Kimmel's Gift. I'm just gonna skip a few. I'm gonna skip. You guys already talked about and stuff like that. Kimmel's Gift is really great. It's got a lot of spammable moves and stuff like that. Uh, Haku's really great. Got life steal. I don't think he has an AOE presence, but he's got a lot of debuffs and stuff like that. I think he causes bleeding too. Really nice debuffs. Skulker is really nice. Same concept as Haku, pretty much. Life steal can apply like effects and stuff like that. All around, really great. Uh, Days. I think he has He might have had an AOE days. I'm not 100% sure on that. Or like AOE damage reduction. Yeah. He has AOE damage reduction. That's really cool. AOE damage reduction. Wisteria is pretty great. AOE possession. AOE negative effects. Like she has two. Like one single target. I mean, like one applies one random negative effect. She has two of those. Uh, Sephirim is a pretty sustainable epic. That he's an alright epic all around. Punchy's really great. Punchy's really great. He's got like AOE. I think like AOE burning and poison. I think that was kind of his boat. He can do that. Monster Face. I really love Monster Face. In all perfect honesty, Monster Face is really fun to use. AOE bleeding. He's got really high end dark damage moves. He's got an AOE metal move that's also respectable. He has a really cool monster all around. I think you should get him because he is a really great damage dealer in all good sense. He's great in Earth Wars, especially. He's good in Light Wars. Yeah, he's good in Light Wars. Just gotta keep the light damage. Keep the light damage off him, and he'll pay you off with it. He'll pay you off for it. And that concludes this second part of the video. I don't think there's gonna. Oh man, there might not be a third part because there's only 25 minutes left. And stuff like that. There's not gonna be enough time to get on the rest of this. But I'll make the third part when they do this again. When everything's on sale again. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the second part of the series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I, convinced you on some things, like on some monsters that you were thinking about getting or were very unsure of, and I've kind of eased your concern with my answers and stuff like that. You don't have to take my answers. You can go to another channel and listen to what they have to say. Or if you don't like my answer, obviously you can go to another channel, hear an answer maybe you wanted to hear. That's totally fine. That's just my opinion. You don't have to follow my opinion, my rules, or my thoughts on any of the monsters. If you want to get something, get it. It's your game, your life. Do it. You can totally do it. So yeah, I'm Did the Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.